Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea, where we discuss the latest celebrity tea in the news. I'm your host, Auntie Derek, and with me, I have some fabulous co hosts. I have my icy chili and my gorgeous moon. Hey, ladies.
Hello.
Hey, good
And shout out
morning.
to the listeners as well participating in the chat. Today is Monday, October 6th. And on Friday's show, I teased you all and I said that we were going to have a surprise. And that surprise is here. When I tell y'all, I am thrilled that she is here to tell her story. So remember on Monday's show, on October 1st show, I shared a link for Cheryl's and that it happened to hit its goal. But I wanted Shirley to actually come to the show and tell her story about her story of survival when it comes to breast cancer awareness. And Shirley was more than happy to do so. So I want to introduce you all to my cousin Shirley. Hey, boo.
Hey D, how are you?
I
How y'all
am
doing?
wonderful.
Imagine a round of applause we're giving you right now.
Yeah, I
Yes.
Welcome,
can hear
welcome.
it. I feel it. I feel the love. How are y'all?
We can actually do it. Yes.
Yes, honey. Again, Shirley. Thanks. So now, just a little bit of background. So Shirley and I are part of the community, LGBTQ plus community. Shirley represents the L, as I represent the G. Shirley is a bit on the she's a stud. She's on the masculine presenting side. And Shirley, well, I'm this is Shirley's story to tell about survival. So I'll actually let her speak for herself. So can you just kind of so how does Shirley fit in with breast cancer awareness? Like what was your story?
Well, hi everybody again. I'm Shirley. Derek is my cousin. He's one of my favorite cousins. Always been a sweetheart. We grew up together in Durham. We from the Bull City.
Whoop whoop.
Um, So, of course, October is Cancer Awareness Month. I actually chose this day. Really no relation, but today would have been my sister's 40th birthday. So that's why I agreed to actually do it today. She passed away in 2005.
And five, girl. I remember that day like it. Happy heavenly birthday, Jess. I love you, boo.
Yeah, so I just wanted to, honor her by sharing my story on this particular day, in October. But just going back, y'all already know what happened in 2020. The world shut down, right?
Yep, yep.
So, it was COVID, it was March, when I actually went to the doctor. Um, March of 2020, the world started shutting down around me. I had already been experiencing like sharp pains in my chest, but that's not a typical symptom of breast cancer. I didn't have any inverted like nipples or dimpling in my skin, which is a typical, I say a typical symptom of actually having breast cancer or anything like that. It does not run in my family. I have nobody in my immediate family that actually has breast cancer. Even my mom, and I don't really know my dad's side like that, but they don't either. So I was actually diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer. Um, Pretty much what that is, it's fairly, I would say, is different from other breast cancers because normally you have receptors and things that pretty much determine how you're going to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
So in regards to triple negative breast cancer, it's a subtype and is distinct because, like I said, it does not contain the three key receptors that um, are commonly treated. So it doesn't connect to estrogen. It doesn't have any like hormone or testosterone or that's attached to it. And then
Oh.
it's not hereditary, so it doesn't have like an actual growth, which is how breast cancer or any cancers are normally treated. It's very aggressive. It grows faster than mostly any other breast cancers, and the reoccurrence is really high in the first 3 to 5 years, which I'm ecstatic that I've bypassed already.
You better work. I know that's right.
Yeah, so that's pretty much like, was the basis of it all. Um, because we were in COVID, I think I had like a special circumstance. For one, I had to really, really push and advocate hard for myself because I didn't even have an appointment. When I first went to the doctor, I went to urgent care. They scheduled me
Oh,
over 5 months out.
get
So
out of here.
that was the first thing. Um, I was just in severe pain one day, and you know how close I am with my mom. So I called my mom, and I was just like, I cannot take this. And she was just like, call them, let them know. So, like I said, I just had to call, advocate for myself. Luckily, they had an opening, like in the next couple of days from that call, and I was able to get in. And it once I got in and they did my first mammogram, because it's not hereditary, early detection is not normally covered by insurance.
I'm sorry, excuse me?
Early detection diagnosis, if it's not hereditary, is not normally covered by your insurance.
I am
Wow.
gagged. What?
Yeah,
Oh my
so
lord.
it has to be. You have to have pretty much grade A insurance. If you're unfortunate to not have insurance, like if you're like on Medicaid or you don't have private insurance, a lot of times if you're not able to get into certain programs, yeah, those are out of pocket expenses.
Wow.
I'm speechless. Like,
What does it
what?
matter? Like when it was detected, or I mean, for insurance purposes, that's really crazy information.
Yeah, so let's just say like I was 33 when I got diagnosed. So that's another thing. Triple negative breast cancer. It happens more so in women, black and brown women under the age of 50.
Wow. And the first
What?
mammograms aren't even recommended until you're 40.
Exactly. That's why I said early detection is not covered under insurance unless it's hereditary because it's
But
not
you
recommended until you turn 40 years old.
but you had symptoms. I mean, it's not like it's come on now. Just because you're under 40, they don't cover. Wow, Cheryl, that's
Yeah. So
oh, that's deep.
initially, I did personally have out of pocket expenses, just
Mm-hmm.
based off of the insurance that I had from my job.
Mm,
Um, yeah, it's unfortunate, and I know a lot of people go through that, which is why a lot of times you see people start GoFundmes and
Hmm.
ask for help because it one is obviously is it really is life and death, especially when it comes to cancer in our community in general. Um, but a lot of resources aren't available to us unless
mm-hmm.
we go look for them.
Right.
And we have some comments in the chat saying another failure of our healthcare system. Okay, you better wake that up. And then another will say, and how it's coded when the doctor requests for mammogram. What? Wow.
Yes, that is very important. I had to do like a whole 180. Initially, I had doctors that really didn't push for me. Um, I had a white gyno, I had a white just primary, and my voice, it would have been like as if I was in a room alone.
I'm so
So
sorry to hear that. Oh
I
my
had to
God.
literally change all my doctors to actually get the things that I needed and to get things that I needed done.
Uh, yeah, so I just have a question. So now take us back to March of 2020 when you first heard your diagnosis. Like, what were your immediate thoughts and feelings?
My immediate thoughts were, what do I have to do? And I didn't have any feelings. Um, it was, I was totally detached. Um, I didn't cry. I didn't feel no kind of way. It was just like, okay, So what are the next steps? And I think because, like I said, we were in that, time where we were in the pandemic and
Mhm.
everything was being done virtually at the moment. It was just like it didn't have any feelings to be had, to be honest. It was just like given to me straight up raw over the phone.
I see. Now, and the second question you've actually kind of answered already because I put when you first started seeking information and support resources, what was available to you, and you told us. And did you notice any gaps in resources that felt relevant to your identity? And yes, because you told us that you pretty much had to speak up for yourself and get a whole new team of medical professionals because you felt like your voice wasn't heard. So,
Absolutely.
uh,
I have dense breasts. So what that means is that when you squeeze a breast, or if you do your routine, that you will feel natural lumps.
mm,
And that's pretty much what some doctors wanted to chalk it up to. Calcification and just my breasts being dense. Um, like I said, I felt like I was put just in a whirlwind, and I was put in a position to where, like, if I really did respond emotionally, I wouldn't have never got anywhere.
and shout out to your mom that Karen, that's my baby, honey. Shout out to her because she was the one
Yes.
who I mean, and had you would you even have made I know me as a millennial, and we are the same age, I would have not made the call like unless somebody suggested. I wouldn't be like, okay, it is what it is. They got an appointment 5 months out. But your mom said, no, call them.
Yeah. My mom, I mean, she's always been like my number one support with everything in my life, like childhood, sports, school, and of course this. But you also know, Derek, she's disabled herself, so it's just not a lot of hands-on that she's able to help me with. But as far as speaking up, standing 10 toes, she's always pushed that for me.
I know that's right. And we have a comment that says, until we address the medical racism within our healthcare system, we can't truly call it a healthcare system for all. You better wake that up.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely, I totally agree, hands down.
And Chili, you have a comment?
Yes, I didn't want to interrupt. And I applaud you and your mother, because I think if you hadn't had her input in the beginning and done the things that you did to change your medical team, I don't think we would be talking to you today, because like you said, it's very aggressive, and I think your actions on your part helped you achieve that 5 year status. I'm at 4 years personally, but I'm just so emotional about it, to
Yeah.
hear the story of what you had to go through, and the healthcare insurance situation. But you Auntie asked you, like, when you heard. I told my story on the first, and when I heard, it was like everything around me just disappeared. Like, it wasn't even important. Nothing meant anything to me anymore, other
Right.
than what was next, and how to survive this. Nothing I owned, only my family and people I love, meant anything to me. I didn't care. I mean, I could have lost everything that day and not get, not given a damn. Personally,
Hmm.
house could have burned down. I wouldn't even care. So um, I just wondered if that's sort of kind of how you felt too.
Um, I think I did feel like I was in a movie. Those times where, people get a phone call, or, get the news, and like you said, everything around you kind of like disappear, and it's like an echo of whatever was being said. It just plays in your head over and over again. Um, and yeah, I didn't have time to feel anything. Um, you know how it goes when once you get there, they do the mammogram, they do the biopsy. Once they diagnose you, everything goes like at 100 miles per hour.
Sure.
So that is the good part. I also in Durham, Duke Hospital is one of the biggest hospitals like in the country in regards to cancer and cancer research. For me, because again, going back to it being COVID, I actually was put into one of their subsidiaries, which is their smaller clinics, and it's called Duke Women's Macon Pond. And that place, those nurses, those doctors saved my life.
Shout out to those doctors and those nurses.
Yes. Yes. They did.
Yeah. So,
But if you had just believed that when they just told you it was calcification, because I had dense breasts too, and they, you know, I've had lumps on mammogram before that turned out like they come, they go, they come and they go.
right.
You know, I knew when I was getting about to get diagnosed. I mean, I'm a healthcare professional, and I was looking at the mammogram as they were doing them, and I knew this was different. You know, I could see that. So, yeah, it's if you had just not you taken that that to heart and not done anything, the pain. I mean, God has His way of letting you know, and He definitely, I think, made you aware. Because some people, like you said, most people don't have that kind of pain. It's something else. They
Mm-hmm.
usually don't discover it until they feel a lump and or get their mammograms at 40. The pain is
Right.
unusual, so you had some clues there that led you to get your diagnosis early, and that's the whole key to most cancers is
Mm-hmm.
that you discover them early, and the cancers that usually progress are the ones that are harder to detect early, like pancreatic and things that are deeper inside the body that you don't feel until it has spread. So early detection is really key. And for men too, you should do breast exams. Just because you don't necessarily have breasts, you got to feel your chest and your prostate, the areas that you can check. Feel, press up around your neck area, see if you feel any lumps that shouldn't be there. Once you get familiar with your body, you'll feel if something's unusual. If you feel something on one side, check it on the other side and see if it feels the same way. You don't have to be a medical professional to do these things, but men and women definitely self breast exam, especially if you're not of mammogram age or if you're having pain or don't just let it slide. And I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah.
And you've done a beautiful job of explaining what triple negative breast cancer is, because that wasn't my type. And I don't know everything, but I learned something from that, what that actually meant. Now I know. So you've done a great job of explaining, each diagnosis and what those terms mean. I love that. Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, yeah, it's like I said, it's truly important to me, and it's just I've seen it happen like after my diagnosis. I have a few friends like that I went to high school and college with that were diagnosed like since mine with the same type. So it really is becoming more of a thing, especially in black and brown women under the age of 50.
The same type?
The same type, triple negative breast cancer. Of course, it comes in different stages,
Right, right.
as just as any other cancer. When I first was staged, I was staged at um, 2. It did go into my chest cavity,
Ah,
um,
Oh,
on my chest wall.
I see. Okay.
So my treatment plan was very, very heavy. I didn't
Yeah.
even get a chance for my port to heal before I started
Hmm.
going to chemo. Um, I had a 16 round treatment. Um, the first set was Taxol, and I want to say it was Taxol and something else. I can't remember the name of it or how to pronounce it.
Yeah. They're
The
pretty
second set,
complicated.
was a lot of people have heard of Red Devil. I know a lot of people know what that is. If you've ever researched cancer, is one of the most potent chemos created. Um, so I had that. In between my chemos, I also had to get boosters and shots um, biweekly.
Mm.
After my chemo, I still had cancer.
Good grief.
It had spread through my lymph nodes. So initially, I only had three lymph nodes that were um, seemed to have cancer. Before surgery, it ended up spreading to 14. So I had pretty much they took all my lymph nodes out from under my arm. I didn't have a mastectomy. I chose for a partial, which is a little bit more than a lumpectomy.
Yeah.
So they took a lot of breast tissue from underneath and around the mass as well as the mass itself.
Right.
So after surgery, I had 30 rounds of radiation Monday through Friday for 6 weeks.
Oh,
By that
wow.
time, I was back at work.
Girl.
Uh, uh,
Well,
I'm sorry. you,
Yeah, by the
you
time I was started radiation, I had went back to work.
you went through
So
it.
Monday through Friday,
Sherry.
every morning I would go to radiation, then I would drive to work.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry to
Um,
God.
call you girl. I mean, I don't know your pronouns. I'm sorry to say that, but I'm just like, I
and then I was
apologize.
on Zolota for a year, which
Wow.
is a chemo pill, to pretty much like help stop the reoccurrence from happening.
Right. Right.
So yeah, I did that for a year.
You went through a lot.
A lot. And Moon has her hand up. Go ahead, baby.
I do have a question. Did you end up having any allergic reactions to the chemo? I asked that because I have a friend who's currently going through breast cancer treatment, and one of the chemos actually um, put an anaphylactic shock,
Hmm.
and so she kind of had to navigate through having to find another chemo treatment. And on top, and then my statement is this is why, because you're a fighter, this is why white folks think we don't feel nothing, or somehow a freak of nature, because our will to live is so strong. I mean, for you to go through that type of chemo treatment aggressive is still not be enough, and you still have to get up and go to work. You don't even get to lay down. I know chemo wipes your body out,
Hmm.
radiation, you're tired, and then you still had to go and go get your money and do what you had to do.
Yeah,
And
cause
nobody's gonna do it for you.
no, it's just me. It's just me at the end of the day. Um, I was working from home initially when I was going like literally through chemo. And then it was the pandemic. So I was an essential worker because at the time I was working for Spectrum. Everybody still wants their TV and internet.
Fuck
Um,
Spectrum.
Well, first
so
of
I was
all,
still
your
working for
life was
them
in
and they
danger.
allowed me to work from home. Like while I was like actually doing chemo.
Thank
And
God.
I couldn't, nobody could be with me because they wouldn't allow anybody in the hospital. So when you say like, normally people have a village, someone can come and sit with them, can read with them. I didn't have any of that. Like it was just me and the person across the room from me. Sometimes the chaplain would come in and it was our nurses. That's it. As far as your
Oh,
question in regards to allergic reaction, I watched someone go through the same thing to where they pretty much coated. And it was like so scary to me. But I also knew that when you do go through any type of allergic reactions, they stop your chemo. And, you have to take a break. And I was determined not to go through that. I did have an allergic reaction, but I didn't say anything.
oh
Um,
Mm.
shit.
my body, I could literally feel like the burn in my body from the inside out.
Wow.
And I was just like, I'm just gonna go take a nap.
And
because
she
I can't
fought
stop
so
my
hard.
chemo.
Right.
That when
You
I
were
say
determined.
a will to live, mm,
Shirley, if you could
mm,
see my face right now, my mouth is to the floor. Like my mouth is just hanging wide open while you were telling your story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we have a comment says, "I'm glad that you were able to finally get the help that you needed. I just wish you didn't have to fight tooth and nail to get said help. No one should have to go through this." Agreed.
So true.
absolutely, absolutely. I
Yes.
think it was the double of everything.
Yeah.
One, we already have a hard time, getting the things that we need, and then two, a whole world shut down. Nobody knew what to do. It was the very beginning of when it was happening, so I think it was just a lot of pressure everywhere for everyone.
And you had to be isolated, even if it
Yeah,
wasn't a shutdown. I mean, you're so immune depressed at the time with all the chemo you were going through. The isolation was still a good idea, even though I'm sure that was a lonesome time for you. You know, your journey was definitely different from mine, and I don't want to compare. But breast cancer is just a devastating diagnosis. I don't care what kind it is, but
hmm
you definitely went through it. It even sounds like you had more than one surgery. Is that what you're saying?
since then. Well, I still have to go through my breast reconstruction. I haven't done that yet.
Okay.
Um, but of course, chemo can do a lot of things to your body. Radiation can do a lot of things to your body.
So true.
For me, it gave me spondylosis, neuropathy, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
also have lymphedema.
Yeah.
So
okay, slow
spondylosis.
down. I was gonna
Okay.
say, what is that one?
Yeah, I'm gonna break them down all the way. Okay, so spondylosis is pretty much um, the breakdown of your spine. It's like having bone spurs. It is. It's bone spurs on your spine. That's pretty much what it is. It's like having shin splints, but in your back. I don't know if anybody have ever experienced that kind of pain, but that's pretty much what it is.
No, oh my God.
Um, so that's something that I deal with like on the normal day to day back pain. Through that process, I end up one of the bone spurs pinched a nerve in my C4, C5. So I had to have a ACDF, which is the disc being removed, spacer being put in with plate and screws to release the compression off of the spinal cord. So that's pretty much what I had to deal with in regards to my recovery, in addition to, just the standard breast cancer stuff.
Oh my God. And just so I'm understanding clearly, because there was a lot of information to take in. So now that happened, like the back pains and other things happened as a result of like the extensive chemo process you went through. Is that
Yeah, absolutely.
my God? My
hmm
God.
And
But
also, like when you have breast cancer and you're going through radiation, a part of the radiation that they try to do, you have to go through stages where you hold your breath to move your heart out the way. So it can also, I still have the burn mark like down the middle of my chest. But as far as like my heart muscles and stuff like that, with heart disease already being in my family, that gave me a whole nother issue. But so it's not something that, even if you once you get past it, it's not something that you ever like get over or forget about or just continue to move on, because whatever you maybe like have, like that you really do get hereditary, like arthritis or whatever, it just adds to it.
yeah, damn. And Chill made a comment, saying that like no matter who you are, even if you're a man, check your body, get to know
Yes.
your body. So that leads me to this next question that I have for you. So for studs or for masculine presented individuals, topics like mammograms and self exams can sometimes feel particularly complex. Did you experience like any barriers or unique feelings when it came to screening and early detection?
For me, no. um I am max presenting, but I'm all woman. Like I've never had that thing where my sexual identity negates who I am as a person and just as a regular human being. And I'm a woman. I'm a woman that love women. I am masculine presenting. And you know what, D? Like I'm getting to a point to where I don't even want to be called a stud because they're put in so many different boxes that it can make people feel uncomfortable. I've
Mm.
always loved my body. I've never had a problem with my body. I'm probably halfway a nudist. So for me,
I
it
know
was
that's
like
right.
Halfway, girl.
it was like you get to a point where so many people have seen your breasts. It's just like, hey, here you go. Do what you need to do.
I know that's right.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's how it was for me. Like I don't know. I guess I just was able to have an open mind about it all and just know like I can't be shameful or have pride when somebody's trying to save my life.
Right.
Yeah.
I still feel that way today when I go when they open the door breast exam. You know, they give you the gown and say, here, put this on. I just start putting it on. I'm like, I'm not trying to hide nothing, girl. Everybody done seen this here. Okay.
Yeah, everybody done seen them at this point. They done
Right.
the whole hospital. So yeah.
But
But yeah, so that wasn't anything that I personally have faced. But I do know some
Hmm.
studs and doms that are uncomfortable with just expressing anything that have to do with their female identity. So I can see how it can be an issue.
Yep, because I know girls myself. I grew up with girls like who literally bind their chest like before they even put on a shirt.
Mhm.
So yeah.
yeah, I've read about that. I mean, and everybody's journey is different. Just like breast cancer, sexuality and how you want to be perceived and mentally where you are with it is still, everybody's journey to go through. So but I hear you, what you say about yourself. So I don't feel so bad for calling you girl because I hate to gender anyone and call them something that they don't want to be called. So that's why I apologize. But
Oh no,
yeah,
you're fine. I'm such a girly stud. Like it's
okay,
crazy. Um, but no, like it just really depends. Like I was born in August. I'm a Leo. I'm real adaptable. I mean, I get along with almost any and everybody. So, girl, call me girl, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking, like, I have straight female friends, my cousins, just everybody. I'm around all types of individuals. So you call me girl, it's cool. If I have more like a masculine friend, they call me bro, I'm good. I'm calling them bro. Like me and Derek, we're cousins. We call each other boo, baby, all types of
Hmm.
stuff. So it really, as long as you're not disrespecting me or calling me out my name in a different way, I'm all
right,
good.
right.
Exactly. You could just kind of see where our family is. Like she's on her cousin's cover that says Auntie Derek. So I mean, it just
Right.
Yeah,
We
right.
could call you man, sis. You don't.
anything under the sun.
Right.
Right.
You don't care, and I love that about you. It's wonderful, and thank you for clarifying that, Cheryl.
No problem.
But I just it has just been so enlightening, and I hope this. I know it'll help other people. I don't hope. I know this. You
Hmm.
telling your story will help other people, especially in the area of advocating and finding doctors who you think have your best interests at heart. Because in my initial stages, I had a precancerous condition called ductal
Mhm.
papilloma, and I had white doctors then, and I felt like there was a lot of information that they didn't tell me at the time of that diagnosis, which progressed to being, it can turn into cancer. But no one told me that went on my first diagnosis of that, which I had for a few years before I
Mhm.
got cancer. So I felt like they left information out, and even with me being a health professional, if you don't know, you don't know what questions to ask necessarily. I feel like doctors should be more forthcoming with information. So now I have all ethnic or African American doctors, and I feel much more cared for, and they do more investigative questioning, and now I know more things, and I ask them questions and so forth. So you have to advocate for yourself. for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of times doctors tell you what they feel like you need to know. And not they may not even cover other findings in your body or anything like that. Had a whole body scan, like from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet, bone scan, CT, everything. Oh, another surgery that I missed out on, Derek. I had gallstones. They
What?
never told me that I had gallstones.
Oh wow.
And I didn't know that I had gallstones until I had to get my gallbladder removed. But the whole time, I had gallstones.
Christ on a cracker.
Yeah, so when I tell you that, I literally could go to my whole screening from 2020. I had my gallstone surgery in 2022. So you telling me for 2 years you knew I had gallstones and didn't tell me, hey, you might not want to eat this because this can aggravate you. This can do this until it was too late. And I had to have gallstone surgery, my gallbladder removed.
That's
So,
crazy.
yeah, everything, I'm just so grateful. I'm so thankful. Um, God is amazing.
All the time.
My family is amazing. Um, we might not always get along, and it's always some drama, some mess, but I still love each and every one of my cousins. And one thing that we did do that I felt supported, all my cousins got on a Zoom. It was like 20 of us. My cousins, New York, New Jersey, North Carolina, Texas, um, Maryland, like everybody was on a call and just like making sure that I knew that I was supported and that everybody was just a phone call away since they couldn't get to me. So that was one thing that like really did lift my spirits and get me through some stuff.
Oh, I know that's right. And gorgeous moon, you got your hand up.
Yeah, I was just saying, I was gonna say, I know I've talked about my story. I don't know if I did it on live, but for the medical, anything, if you know your body and you feel like something is wrong and you get a doctor that's dismissing you or not sufficiently answering your questions, get a new doctor. Do not accept what people tell you, just for face value. If you
Absolutely agree.
feel like something is wrong, you know something, you're feeling symptoms that you know you've never felt before, and you know there's something wrong. Don't let them people tell you anything. You keep going. I think I've told this story before, but I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. But the first neurologist I had, she was so dismissive of my case, like, oh, it's nothing, you'll be fine, it's you don't have an aggressive, but I had questions. That's not you're not supposed to dismiss me. It's not like I've had it before, like I just know. Like, so go, and I can't tell, because first of all, black, brown people, they're gonna already not treat us well off top, or there's going to be people that aren't going to treat us well or dismiss our symptoms because of false beliefs. That's what I was kind of speaking to earlier, is Shirley being the I faux I can't even believe that you had to go through what you went through going through cancer treatment. And so my thing is, do not just let people tell you anything. And if you got to go through two, three, four doctors, do it until you find the one that is the one that is supposed to be for you. That's all I have to say about that.
You better say that, girl. And I want to shout, hey, Libra Queen. I hope you had a fabulous birthday. And we have some comments in the chat. It says it's sad society automatically has a preconceived notion of others based on the label they use to box them in rather than actually getting to know the individual. And you are your own best advocate. Damn right. And I got two more questions for Shirley if you got a little bit more time to chill with us.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Thank you. Well, so this one says, what have been the most helpful coping mechanisms or sources of support, other than family or the clinic of nurses and things that you mentioned? Now, what have been the most helpful coping mechanisms or sources of support that resonated with you specifically as a masculine presenting individual?
Oh, well, I like to go to the clouds, y'all.
Oh, okay, okay.
Um,
And I like to go up there with you.
that is one of my favorite pastimes. So that was one thing. And then of course, like therapy, y'all. Like a lot of people feel like it's taboo. I've been going to therapy off and on since I was a kid. My mom, I know we talked about her earlier, but she was a very strong woman, single mother. My dad was pretty much not a part of my life at all. So she wanted us to be able to, find tools early on to be able to cope with that. So I've been in and out of therapy for as long as I can remember, and my therapist is my homegirl. She actually went to Jordan High School. So like I know her, and she's friends with some of my other friends as well. So it really do like when you look for a therapist, really find somebody that you can connect with. It doesn't have to be um, just whoever somebody recommends.
Damn right. And baby, trust me, this community here, we are big on therapy. So they can
You know
call it
what?
taboo if they want to, baby. But we go to therapy over here.
Absolutely.
Therapy.
Period.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Period.
clouds and therapy are best for me.
Shout out to your mother. She's the real winner in here for just being a progressive thinking parent and not being bogged down by um, those stereotypes we usually have in our community around therapy and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Shout out to your
I have
mom.
been lucky to come from a lineage of strong black women.
Okay.
Um my grandmother, who I'm named after, she was a politician in New York in the 60s and 70s. So being strong, speaking up for myself, being an advocate, not for just myself, but for others, that's something that's just in my DNA.
Damn right. And is it a family trait?
Yeah,
Okay. Because you know.
absolutely.
Well, and the last question I have for you, if you could give one piece of advice to a newly diagnosed young or masculine presenting person, what would it be?
Um, my best advice for a mass presenting person is to always have your tribe and find your tribe. You can't be afraid. You can't be scared. Um, you're s- we're all women, and we all have our different walks. But at the end of the day, we are still going through a lot of the same things, and we have a lot more commonality and common ground than you could think. So yeah, find your tribe. Don't be afraid to you know reach out to someone new, um, and just speak up.
I know that's right. That was beautiful. And I've seen some comments. It says like I believe for my icy chili, her coping mechanisms were like, her faith, belief in God, and yes, the other stuff going to the clouds. So
hmm
yes, honey.
Oh, I'm definitely faith based as well. So like I told y'all earlier, but God, like, so amazing, so beautiful.
And contrary to popular belief, I'm faith-based as well. I tell y'all all the time I was born and raised in the Baptist church, but people
We
think
were.
because I'm against Christo fascism, they think that I don't believe in God or I'm an atheist.
Mm-mm.
No, I'm
No,
not at all.
we don't think that.
Oh no, I had some family members coming to me talking about I was an atheist. I said, girl, I'm not no
Nah,
atheist.
faith and religion are two different
Please,
things.
two different things.
Hmm.
Two wholly different things. I felt like God did some things, led me on my journey, um, letting me know that something was going on as well. And I had to take care of my father for 2 years, and it was pretty much limiting it to where I could go and what I could do. If I'd had gone through this when he was here, it would have been very hard for me to take care of him at that time. So as soon as he passed away, I mean, I knew that the thing in my breast was changing, the initial diagnosis. So, and I knew something was going on. And when he passed away, that was my first immediate thing to do was to check up on that. And, that led to, everything else. But yeah, God held me down during that time. And I,
Yeah.
I truly believe that I didn't have any, of the involvement outside of the lesion as you did. So my journey was, quite different. But I felt like I was held down during that period, so that I could do what I needed to do for him, because it was just me and him. There was no sisters and brothers or cousins, or he's from a whole nother state and been gone for years and years and years. So it was just me and him. He had me, and I had to take care of him. So yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
I get that. That's pretty much. I do have siblings, but that's just pretty much how me and my mom relationship is. I'm the youngest, and my brothers are 6 and 7 years older than me, so it's a big difference, especially being the only girl. Like as far as my mom's child, yeah, it's different.
yeah. It's always usually
Um,
one person who bears you know, the brunt of that when a parent is ill or disabled. It's usually that one child. You could have 10 brothers and sisters, but it's always that one. And with you, like you say, being the daughter and your brothers being, so much older, but you're there for her, and she was definitely there for you.
yeah, and it's still the same. Nothing changes. Um, she may not can like physically do the things that I was used to her doing, but as far as being like my support system, that never wavers. And being a praying mother definitely never changes.
Baby, I wish y'all could experience one of Karen's hugs, honey. She got the best hugs, I tell you that. And shout out to your brothers, the Aries King and the Capricorn King. I hope
Yeah.
they are doing fabulous.
Yeah, everybody good, man. Everybody good.
Well, I think y'all can see exactly why I was so excited when she said yes that she would be here, because after that conversation, baby, I have learned so much. And Shirley, I cannot thank you enough for coming here to tell your story.
I definitely appreciate the platform. Auntie Derek,
Yeah.
Daytime T, and his co-host. I appreciate you guys for having me. Just to be able to share some things with y'all and tell my story. This is actually the first time I've been able to do this, D. So I appreciate you.
You are absolutely, honey. You are more than like I think and clearly I was right. I even knew your story was an important one to tell. I didn't know like the extent of it. I didn't know how, like, I just didn't know like the ins and outs of it. But I did know that it was a story that needs to be told, because everybody is not as confident. Everybody didn't go to have therapy from
Mhm.
childhood. Like, so, your story that you told is going to help somebody.
It is.
I hope so. I hope so. That's just purpose in life is just to at least touch one person, reach one person,
I know
I
it's going
think
to
pull
help
that's
somebody.
pull somebody up. I mean, that's all I've ever been taught.
And I think that's common after, there's so many women and men in this club that we don't want to be in, but hey, we're here. But I think that's a common thread amongst us all, that our story will help the next woman
Damn right.
Absolutely.
or or man. I think we all want to give back. We, you know, especially new therapies, whatever you're going through, just knowing your story. And there's so many different types of breast cancer, and you know, people out there telling their stories will help, because there's someone who had what you had, and your journey may be a little different, but you can get something from it. There's blogs, there's boards you can look up on the internet, if well, for whatever ails you, not just breast cancer, any kind of cancer or chronic disease you may be facing. There's people out there that want to share and help. If you look them up and use the internet, for something productive, it can give you that too.
For sure. I'm definitely learning never stops with me. So I'm an avid
Right,
reader.
right. Me too.
Um, so I make sure that I stay on top of things, and
Yeah. Yeah.
Just spread as much love, positivity, and information as possible.
Amen. Amen, Shirley. Love that.
Love it. And if you are just like Chill said, there are lots of other people with their own stories to tell. And if you happen to be one of those people and would like to come on this show and tell your story just as Shirley did, please reach out. You can hit us up at auntie@auntiederrick.com, tweet me on Twitter, whatever. But
Yeah.
I would certainly love to hear your story. And just like Shirley's, I know it will help someone else. So,
Yeah.
well, now, did anybody want to ask any more questions to my fabulous cousin before we jump into the tea?
I just want to say thank you. Thank you.
Same, same. That's all I
And we
want
have
to
a
say.
comment
Thank you.
saying donate. So don't yep, and y'all will see when it
Yeah.
gets transferred to the other platforms like Apple and Spotify and all of that. You will see the link that says for Shirls, and that will be to get you to Shirley's fundraiser for the 40-mile challenge for the breast cancer research foundation. So please donate to her campaign if you can. We have a comment saying, or
Yeah,
just
I'm
get
gonna
with
get them
Auntie
two
Derek.
miles in today.
You better work. Oh, and I think we may have a question. Ashley, hey, gorgeous.
Hi. Oh my goodness, this has been amazing. I just wanted to say thank you before you moved on. It was so inspirational and timely. I think there's a lot that we sweep under the rug and that people don't pay attention to. And you need someone who looks like you, sounds like you, has experienced similar things to you as far as family dynamics are concerned, like some point to relate to. And um, this conversation is going to serve as representation for people for years to come because of the kind of platform that it is. So I'm really just ecstatic that you took the time to come and share your experience with us. We all learned something today. So thank you.
I appreciate that, Ashley. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, boo. Well, so that was a really very informative conversation. I like just like Ashley said, I've learned a lot, but let's go ahead and get into some mess, honey, because that was
Yes,
really
I'm ready
heavy.
for the tea too. I'm gonna still be hanging out, y'all,
Oh, you
on the
hanging out?
backside.
Okay,
Okay, hang out with
that's
Y'all
us.
what's
feel
up.
free to reach out to me. I'm on Facebook, Shirley McRae, McRae. I'm on Twitter. Well, I don't be on Twitter that much no more, but Snapchat, Instagram, I'm normally on a lot more, but it's under I'm Shirls. I am underscore SHIRLC. Y'all hit me.
Y'all hit my cousin up. She just as cool as I am.
Yes, she is. We can tell already.
The
But I'm
vibes are
staying on for the
vibing.
TD.
Yay!
Okay,
Well, with
okay.
that, let's go ahead and get started with the tea, honey.
I already
Okay,
know it.
tea time.
Yes. Well,
Yes.
y'all know the first thing we're gonna talk about, honey.
Diddy.
You
Diddy.
know it, cause and we tried to hold out for as long as we could for that verdict, but they were still having court. So, but his sentence is here after over a year of talking about this man and his trial, baby. It's finally here. And I just shared the CNN article. You see where it says Sean Diddy Combs was sentenced to over 4 years in prison after a day-long court hearing. And CNN, and shout out to CNN because remember, we initially started to use People, but People kept bullshitting. And they weren't giving us the latest updates like we needed. But CNN was like, you know what, girl, I got you, boo. And they did get us. So, a federal judge sentenced Sean Diddy Combs to 4 years and 2 months in prison Friday afternoon, telling the disgraced music mogul that his crimes were serious, but there is light at the end of the tunnel for him. No, it's not. Combs has been jailed in a federal detention facility in Brooklyn, New York, since his arrest in September of last year, and was facing up to 10 years in prison for each of the two counts of transportation to engage in prostitution he was found guilty of in July. He was convicted of transporting two of his former girlfriends to have sex with paid male escorts at drug fueled nights called freak offs or hotel nights. Judge Arun Subramanian, or Judge Arun, his ruling Friday departed from the prosecutor's 11-year sentencing recommendation and the defense team's request for a lenient 14-month sentence that would have secured Combs' imminent release after time served. The judge said he considered the fact that Combs is a self made artist and businessman who has helped inspired and lifted up communities and called his impact on the Black community and entrepreneurship, all of which was highlighted by his defense team in court on Friday. He called it celebrated and iconic. And remember, they tried to play that old fuck ass video in court. But anyway. But Judge Arone also said a history of good works cannot wash away the records in this case, which showed that you abused the power and control you had over the women you profess to love dearly. You abused them physically, emotionally, and psychologically, and you used that abuse to get your way. The judge rejected the defense's attempt to characterize what happened here as merely intimate consensual experiences or just a sex, drugs, and rock and roll story. I was sitting right here, Judge Roon said, in reference to the testimony given at trial by two of Combs's former girlfriends, Cassie and the woman who testified under the pseudonym Jane. We read about it in text messages and emails, and we did hear, honey, from the rooter to the suitor. We saw in the images of gashes, bruises, broken doors, and we saw the video of your savage beating of Miss Ventura, Judge Roon said. This was subjugation, and it drove both Miss Ventura and Jane to thoughts of ending their lives. Judge Room thanked the victims for their courage to speak out about the abuse they endured from Combs. I want to say first, we heard you. I am proud of you for coming to the court to tell the world what really happened, he said. The judge also questioned the authenticity of Combs's claims to reform, pointing to his assault of Jane in June of 2024. The judge said Combs assaulted Jane and arranged a hotel night with her and an escort while knowing he was under active federal investigation, and the surveillance video of him assaulting Cassie Ventura at a hotel in 2016 had become public. Judge Arun addressed Combs directly, encouraging him to let his family support him through his sentence, and when he is released, quoted from several positive messages in letters submitted by his family and friends to the court. These letters, all those letters that I saw, show that you have a universe of people who love you, the judge said. Let them lift you up now, just like you've lifted them up for so many years. I'm counting on you to make the most of your second chance, Judge Room said. He was like, if they support you, honey, support his ass while he in jail. Let them uplift you while your ass in jail, or prison, excuse me. It says Combs addressed the court before Judge Room imposed the sentence, pleading for a second chance. I ask your honor for mercy. I beg your honor for mercy, Diddy said. He apologized to Ventura and her family and to Jane. To Jane, he said, I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry I brought you into my mess. Diddy also apologized to abuse victims around the world who may have been triggered by the surveillance footage of him assaulting Cassie. Regarding the video, he said, my actions were disgusting, shameful, and sick. I was sick from the drugs. I was out of control. I needed help, but I didn't get the help. Because of that, I can make no excuse. Okay, let me just stop right here real quick because my thing is, if you would have said this like when you were accused initially, then maybe we would believe you. But no, when those allegations came, when Cassie's lawsuit was first introduced, what happened? He denied everything. He was like, okay, what is that? These people trying to assassinate my character. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that tweet is actually still pinned on his page where he's saying people trying to assassinate his character and he has never been violent towards anybody in his life or some other bullshit, lying through them damn big ass lips. But anyway, if he would have said this from the beginning, then maybe I would believe that. But I'm with the judge. I don't believe if you was to get out today, you will be going around doing the exact same thing that you've been doing and you've been getting away with for over the years. So anyway, let's see. Combs said he understood the severity of his convictions and pledged, I'll never put my hands on another person again. I know that I've learned my lesson. Okay, girl. I lost all my businesses. I lost my career. I totally destroyed my reputation. But most of all, I lost my self respect. I've been humbled and broken to my core. I hate myself right now. I've been stripped down to nothing. I am truly sorry for it all, no matter what they say, he said. Combs grew emotional when he turned to apologize to his children and mother seated in the courtroom. Um, Earlier, several of Combs' children addressed the judge, pleading with him to give their father a lenient sentence. And remember, we read that on Friday, show Hunter trying to get to the sentence, but they was talking so damn much in court. I asked you give my father a second chance at life. You know, and I'm not even about to read this shit again because all of it was nonsense. Let me skip to let me see. We do know about no victims speaking in court. They've already had their chance to speak, apparently. Let's see if there's anything in here worth reading. Combs' respect for the law is lip service. What the hell? So it says Christy Slavic, one of the prosecutors, spent less than an hour in total addressing Combs' sentencing for the government, but made clear its stance that his claimed remorse is disingenuous. It's clear that the defendant doesn't understand or appreciate the gravity of his criminal conduct, Slavic said. Combs doesn't fully grapple with how his actions got him here. His respect for the law is just lip service. The prosecutor said Combs and his lawyers have minimized the violence tied to his conviction. The defendant's abuse was consistent, casual even, but life altering for those on the bruised end of it, Slavic said. Let me see. I'm just going to just finish it because I think we pretty much got the gist of this article. I don't think I really need to read anymore. What's the last? It said it is unclear where Combs will serve his prison sentence, but Judge Room said he hopes Combs will continue working with his fellow inmates. Okay. We have a comment saying womp womp, right? Like, boy, bad. And to be quite honest, that what he got is not, some, in my opinion, what wasn't enough. Because, like I said, remember we were here, honey. We've read the trial from the rooter to the tutor, and this man was, that he was a motherfucker. So I guess, yeah, I did see like the discourse about it over the weekend, and I want to say like a lot of the women's rights activists, they really weren't happy, and they felt, and I kind of agree with them, they felt that it should have been a longer sentence, like at least up to 10, 11 years or something like that. Therefore, and then with him already serving what, a year, that he now only has to do what, the remaining 3 year and a few months, or 3 years and change. So
Well, it
uh,
didn't really say that his previous incarceration has contributed. I mean, don't they have to state that if you're if you stayed in jail until your trial, that time served would count toward that sentence? I'm not sure that's true, Auntie.
I
I'm
think
with you.
he
I'm
has
not
to
sure if
do
it's true
four.
either.
I think it was. I'm thinking it was like a 5 year sentence, and that's why it's reduced down to 4 and 2 months. Because hasn't he been in there for like 10 months?
Oh, he's been over in there for over a year, because remember he was
Yeah,
arrested
in
September
September.
of last year.
So I
Okay,
think it
it was
was a
September.
5 year sentence. And
Yeah, it
he
was
made it
like
four
I
years and 2 months. I don't think he's going to get time served included with that.
I see. Okay. Well, you know what?
so.
I actually believe y'all more because well, one, y'all be knowing what y'all be talking about, and two, the information that I got was actually from that. You know how when you Google shit and then they give you that old fuck ass AI summary that don't never, yeah. So the AI
Yeah,
summary said,
I I think it was already deducted, and so that he has to serve the full 4 years. Maybe we'll see. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's how I took it as.
y'all might be
The time
right. Y'all
served
be,
came
yeah.
out of the five.
And that sounds like it makes a lot more sense what y'all are saying for him to be sentenced to the 5, and now he's got to do the 4, and yeah. Mm,
I think
well,
that was his leniency as far as like the family, but he's like, "Oh, you gonna do some time, fam? You're not gonna walk out of here. That ain't gonna be your reality."
no, did y'all see like the transcript of what the judge was saying? Because, and I was like, the judge said that in court. He was like, yes, you'd have these women suck your dick and stuff. I was like, hold up now.
What?
Yes, he was saying.
No.
I was like, oh, he okay.
No, I didn't see that. I leave the transcripts to you to give us the.
Well, honey, well, so of course, people have opinions about Diddy's sentencing and stuff. Some people think he's gotten uh too much time. Some people think he didn't get enough time. One of the people who doesn't think that he's gotten enough time is, and we've talked about him quite a bit too during the trial, is Suge Knight. And remember how he was always so quick to share his opinions about the trial? Well,
He's
that
a
did not
bitter
stop.
baby.
Now that's
He just wants somebody in there alone to say, "You killed somebody, boy. Shut up. Sit down."
well, you remember my stance on Suge Knight, honey. Y'all can say whatever y'all want about it, but here at Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea, we want no smoke with Suge Knight, and we respect that Aries King. So But it says Suge Knight, and y'all see I just shared this hot new hip hop article. Suge Knight recently spoke from behind bars to blast Diddy and his team's publicity and narrative efforts to accompany his 50-month sentence. The massive misconduct scandal of Diddy recently got a huge partial conclusion as he received a 50-month prison sentence for transporting individuals across state lines for the purposes of prostitution. The year he has already spent behind bars will contribute to his overall sentence, according to this article, y'all. It says, and his longtime hip hop mogul rival, Suge Knight, thinks he's gotten off easy. In a new interview from jail with The Art of Dialogue, the death row executive reacted to the bad boy boss's prison sentence. More specifically, he compared Combs's sentencing to what Suge experienced in his 2015 hit and run case, a
Uh-huh.
conviction for which he continues to serve time. Okay, who over there rattling?
Oh, that was me. I'm sorry. I'm on mute.
Oh, well, he says, I wasn't allowed to speak. I wasn't allowed to do nothing, Knight remarked. Puff was able to speak to the court and send a letter to Judge Arun before the judge handed his sentence down. Like I said before, Puffy has strong ties with the government, with the feds, and anybody else would have been cooked, done. Suge Knight expressed concerning Diddy. He believes Diddy's sentence is too lenient despite his acquittals on sex trafficking and racketeering charges. In fact, Suge characterized it as the deal of the centuries. Not only that, but Suge Knight also blasted Diddy and his team for their publicity efforts and attempts to generate sympathy from those in the case and witnessing it. This included a documentary style video praising his contributions and commitments, as well as his aforementioned remarks to the court. I mean, that's the first time in history that a person's going to get a sentence and they can actually put a campaign like they're running for the president of the United States, where they can show video and pretty much everything. Suge posted. Only thing I was waiting on was the fact that I was waiting on him to bring out the DJ and start playing music and let him do what he do best. Dance and shake that ass and end up with no time. Other critics of Diddy's sentence made similarly mocking remarks or more serious declarations. Either way, there's a lot of debate. And of course, y'all know 50 Cent says something. We ain't gonna talk about what his silly ass and
Okay. So we're not
see.
gonna talk about the way Suge rolled into court with a wheelchair and stuff. You know what? I'm not. Uh, you know what? Don't be mad because you don't have the family support. That's your fault. You were able to. So I don't.
Mhm.
I don't. I don't. Should need to sit down and be quiet, please, and thank you.
And we have a comment. While I agree we shouldn't ignore Combs, I think those that aided him and have helped him cover up his crimes for this long should also receive the public focus and should be investigated. Ain't that right, Christina Quorum? Well, surprisingly, y'all. So remember, during the trial, one of the sex workers testified. You remember, he went by his name was Sheree Hayes, but he went by his nickname, the Punisher. So he had some thoughts on the sentencing as well. And to my surprise, he actually think that Diddy got too much time. So I'm sharing another hot new hip hop link, and y'all see where it says alleged Diddy sex worker and dancer, the Punisher, react to jail sentence. So Diddy and his massive misconduct scandal are on everyone's mind these days, and his federal 50-month sentence for transporting to engage in prostitution still has a lot of civil claims in the background. An alleged sex worker who worked for him and exotic dancer trial witness Sheree the Punisher Hayes recently spoke to TMZ about a few of these allegations, plus the sentence and criminal conviction as a whole. The alleged sex worker, who asked to remain anonymous, was reportedly named during trial testimony and during sentencing. He reportedly told the outlet that he finds Sean Combs' sentence insufficient due to the assault and arson allegations against him, separate from the Mann Act violation charges the court convicted him on. Prosecutors dropped the arson charges before the jury gave a verdict. The alleged anonymous sex worker thought the bad boy mogul might have gotten 10 years. In addition, he claimed that his attorney advised him to avoid self incrimination and refused Diddy's legal team's alleged request for him to write a letter of support for Puff ahead of Judge Arun's sentence. As for the Punisher, he claimed to receive no such request from either side to write positively or negatively about Combs. He said that he doesn't know if he would have agreed either way. Also, Hayes admitted that he previously thought Diddy didn't deserve more time in prison. However, after hearing Judge Arum's reasoning, he now finds the sentence necessary to protect victims to prevent similarly destructive behavior from others. The Punisher also believes Combs is truly remorseful concerning his actions. He says the executive lost everything due to his decisions, and that this experience changed him forever. Diddy will most likely agree with that sentiment. And it's talking about him writing that letter to Judge and stuff, and then it ends with talking about 50 Cent. So I don't even need to read the rest of this article. But yeah, so he said initially he felt that he said now I guess after the judge's reasoning now he like I guess I can see it protects victims, but I mean but he is truly remorseful. Well, baby, if you believe that, let me talk to you about this bridge in New York I want to sell you.
You know, he was like, hey, that was my money.
Exactly.
So,
Honey,
you
it's
know, he's
okay to
trying to,
it's okay to just be a nice looking man, be attractive, and be quiet and throw that penis. Like that's all you got to do.
that's true too. That's it, that's all.
Do what you do best, honey. Keep your opinions to yourself and just keep throwing the penis.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we ain't got to hear about Diddy no more after this. Well,
Uh,
for
I
now.
was gonna say, oh, you think that? Oh, baby, we still got
For
he
now.
still got civil lawsuits on that ass.
I know. I was just, hoping.
Well, I agree, but that is enough Diddy news for today for sure. So let's go on here to the next thing, honey. Yo, how about Ike Turner Jr. done died over the weekend? And let me get the link here from TMZ.
I heard about that. He's been sick for a long time.
He has, yes. And you see, I just shared this TMZ link. Ike Turner Jr., son of Tina and Ike Turner, dead at 67. So, Tina Turner and Ike Turner's son, Ike Turner Jr., has died, TMZ has learned. Tina's niece, Jacqueline Bullock, tells TMZ Ike Jr. died Saturday at a Los Angeles hospital from kidney failure. She
Mm,
says he battled severe heart disease for years, and we're told his health had been declining for some time. He also recently suffered a stroke in early September.
jeez.
Born in 1958 to Ike Sr. and Lorraine Taylor, Ike Jr. was adopted by Tina early in his life and grew up amid his parents' whirlwind music career. After Tina split from her ex husband, Ike Sr., Ike Jr. went on to work as her sound engineer for a short time, but the collaboration was brief. Ike Jr. was one of four children connected to Tina and Ike's iconic union. He largely stayed out of the spotlight in recent years, but remained connected to the legacy of both of his parents. Ike Turner Sr. died in 2007, and Tina passed in 2023. Ike Jr. was 67. Rest in peace.
Looking just like Ike Turner, too.
Don't you look just like oh honey? When I heard about this story, and this is so because it's not funny, but it's funny because y'all, I know y'all remember the iconic "What's Love Got to Do with It," and remember that scene, honey? Lorraine dropped them kids. Oh, you want to be a family man, Ike? Here you go, boo. And then Ike is, what the hell I'm gonna do with three more kids? I know that movie is not a comedy, and I hate that it tickles me so much. But that movie, Wolf Child, the iconic movie it is.
Well, you know how we do in movies. You know we gonna make a comedy out of a drama, out of a drama.
Yes, honey.
I mean, eat the cake, anime. Eat the cake. We're not supposed to be laughing at that,
We sure ain't.
but that is infamous in the culture.
No, honey, but the iconic, like what gets me, honey, with her friend. Fuck you, Ike. You ain't got to hit me but once. Baby, that iconic line. You ain't got to hit me but once, honey.
See, we shouldn't be laughing at that, but here we go.
Well, honey, I'm sure Ghislaine Maxwell is not laughing, honey. Cause baby, and y'all know I do not like to talk about no politics here unless it intersects with hot topics. And this one certainly does. So if y'all were hoping for them Epstein files to come out, if you were hoping for the Supreme Court to get involved, well, you can hang it up flat screen. Because I have this TMZ article here, and you should see where it says Ghislaine Maxwell's appeal denied by Supreme Court. The 20-year sentence sticks.
Yes, amen, amen. This is good. I hate the Supreme Court right now, but this is probably one of the only best things that they have done so far.
Hmm. Well, it starts off by saying Ghislaine Maxwell just hit a legal brick wall. The U.S. Supreme Court flat out rejected her bid Monday to overturn her conviction for conspiring to sexually abuse minors. The Supreme Court wasted no time on its first day back with the decision, killing any shot at a retrial for Maxwell, who was convicted back in 2021, all while the Trump administration continues to catch heat for keeping the Epstein files still under wraps. The justices didn't explain why they turned away the appeal. I mean, what's understood don't need to be explained, right? But
Well,
anyway,
the
uh,
way they operate,
well, Maxwell's three convictions and 20-year sentence stand, but her lawyer, David Oscar Marcus, isn't throwing in the towel. He says the fight's far from over, claiming serious legal and factual issues remain, and vows to chase every last option to get her justice. In her appeal, Maxwell argued her conviction should have been tossed, claiming Epstein's 2007 plea covered her and that prosecutors were way past the statute of limitations. Still, Maxwell serving time in style, recently getting transferred to a cushier all women minimum security prison in Texas. And then it looks like there was an update. So, what does the update say? It says Maxwell's attorney, David Marcus, tells TMZ, "We're, of course, deeply disappointed that the Supreme Court declined to hear Ghislaine Maxwell's case. But this fight isn't over. Serious legal and factual issues remain, and we will continue to pursue every avenue available to ensure that justice is done." Okay, girl. Well, if you want to waste your time like that, baby, you go right ahead. Let's see. They'll never come out. There's too many politicians indicted in them. Okay, you better wake that up. Well, child. I mean, well, at least she has a more cushier minimum security prison there. Maybe they can bake some cookies or some shit or whatever jailhouse
yes,
desserts they be baking.
no,
I think
no.
she's safer there, to be honest.
Quiet as it's kept.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, because that's a white collar crime. She's not even supposed to be there. But I'm
Mm-mm.
glad the Supreme Court did what they were supposed to do and shot that down because it was a possibility that she was going to get out. And because of that whole little immunity situation, there was an argument made. So I'm glad they shot that down. Fuck that
Mm-hmm.
bitch. She's a fucking child predator too. Fucking nasty ass bitch.
Yep. Fuck that child predator ass bitch. And we don't have to say allegedly on that because that bitch is convicted. So, well, y'all. Speaking of judges, how about a judge, baby, is a Philadelphia judge, and I feel like my gorgeous Ashley would appreciate this story. Shout out to Philly. So, a Philadelphia judge who happens to be friends with Meek Mill, baby, is under investigation. And y'all should see I just shared this all hip hop link. Philadelphia judge fights back in case with ties to Meek Mill. So, a Philly judge is pushing back against a potential unpaid suspension after being accused of trying to sway a fellow Philadelphia judge in a criminal case tied to Meek Mill, arguing he hasn't been charged with any crime. Philadelphia Court of Common Pleas Judge Scott DeClaudio is under formal scrutiny by the Pennsylvania Judicial Conduct Board, which claims DeClaudio attempted to influence the sentencing of Dwayne Jones, a 46-year-old man facing firearm charges in connection with the deadly shooting. Jones is described in court documents as a personal friend of Meek Mill, and DeClaudio reportedly knows the rapper both socially and professionally. According to the Judicial Conduct Board's complaint, DeClaudio allegedly slipped Judge Zachary Schaefer a piece of paper with Jones's name on it during a private meeting in chambers on June 12th of 2025 and said, "I heard you might do the right thing anyway." Schaefer was scheduled to sentence Jones just 4 days later. The Conduct Board filed charges against DeClaudio in September, citing a host of ethical violations. While DeClaudio has been removed from the bench during the investigation, his legal team insists he did nothing improper and is fighting to avoid a suspension without pay. The judge argues that because he hasn't been criminally charged, the disciplinary court should not impose those penalties. His attorneys are urging the Pennsylvania Court of Judicial Discipline to reject the board's request. Jones's case, which involves serious allegations tied to a fatal shooting, has only intensified the spotlight on the judiciary internal standards. The alleged attempt to influence sentencing has raised concerns about impartiality and judicial boundaries. That word judicial is beating my ass today, y'all. I'm sorry. Anyway, Meek Mill has long been a vocal advocate for criminal justice reform, particularly after his own legal battles garnered national attention to probation laws and systemic inequities. His ties to both Jones and DeClaudio have added another layer of public interest to the case. The disciplinary court has yet to announce when it will rule on DeClaudio's request to avoid unpaid suspension. Mm-mm, baby. Let's see. I mean, okay. Because I'm seeing that he how did you think you were as a judge? How did you think you was going to get away with that? Like you said, you allegedly wrote a name on a piece of paper. You wrote Jones on a piece of paper in the judge's chambers. Gonna slide it, just I guess. So you might as well just took a briefcase full of money in there too while you was at it. Like, are you kidding me?
For real, for real, for real.
Like, what the hell?
Well, you know, the caucasity of the law, they always have. Even if they're trying to, it's just crazy. We
Yeah,
thought it was gonna be sweet. Mm.
girl, nah, I don't have words, child. I'm just like,
He
really,
should
nigga.
have. He should have really known his people be snitching. They were gonna snitch on him.
And now I wonder if he's okay with being suspended. He just don't want to be suspended without pay. That's what I'm getting from this article. He was like, "You can suspend. I can take a vacation. Or just give me my money." Well, y'all, I guess we won't spend too much time on this next story because y'all know how I feel about crackhead Brown. But so one of his Memphis concerts was actually just canceled.
Who we talking about, Chris?
Mm-hmm. And you see, I just shared this all hip hop article. Chris Brown's Memphis concert canceled as Breezy Bowl 20 tour breaks records. So promoters pulled the plug on Chris Brown's upcoming Memphis concert, abruptly canceling the October 18th stop of his Breezy Bowl 20 tour at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, a show that would have marked the venue's first major concert in 25 years. Ticketmaster confirmed the cancellation but did not offer a reason. Refunds will be processed automatically within 14 to 21 days, according to the ticketing platform. The Memphis date was set to feature Bryson Tiller and Janae Aiko as special guests and would have been a landmark event for the stadium, which typically hosts college football games and the Southern Heritage Classic. Despite the Memphis cancellation, Brown's Breezy Bowl 20 tour has been a financial juggernaut. As reported by Billboard, the tour has generated 241.4 million in gross revenue and moved 1.7 million tickets as of September 27th. That is a 193% jump in earnings and a 270% spike in attendance compared to his previous tour. The tour has also shifted Brown from arenas to ballparks, tripling audience capacity. In August alone, he pulled in 96.8 million from 14 shows, topping Billboard's monthly touring chart for the first time in his career. The European leg was equally lucrative, bringing in 58.5 million from 14 sold out dates and nearly half a million tickets sold. Brown's career has long walked the line between commercial success and legal drama. In 2025, he was arrested in the United Kingdom after being accused of assaulting a music producer with a tequila bottle at a London nightclub, which we talked about here several times. He pled not guilty to the charges in June. Earlier this year, Brown also filed a $500 million lawsuit against Warner Brothers, claiming a documentary falsely depicted him as a serial abuser. Despite the legal turbulence, the Breezy Bowl 20 tour rolls on. With 7 shows left and an average of $7 million per stop in North America, analysts expect the tour to rake in another 45 to 50 million. That would push Brown's career touring revenue past $500 million, placing him among the top earning R&B performers in history. The Memphis show was intended to honor Brown's 20-year milestone in music, celebrating his evolution from a teenage breakout to a stadium level headliner. Are y'all okay? Why are y'all going to Chris Brown's concert? Are we? And not only
because
are y'all going, you're going in droves.
the women, hmm
Now, I mean,
now,
I guess I can understand the light skinned women because that's where you feel, he got y'all feeling, but anybody who's darker than a paper bag that's buying a Chris Brown concert ticket, honey, okay. This is
I
why I say I
did,
trust you, sis.
did last year, and
Oh, that's me. Hi. Is that my mic hot?
oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
My
I'm like,
bad.
why we in the car? How we get in the car? Wait a minute. I was just in my kitchen. Why we
You
riding
in the
down the
car with
street?
me? We rolling, y'all. We rolling. It's time to get. It's time to get nephew. I'm sorry. Thank you, Moon, for letting me know my mic was on. Um, I
No
turned it on
problem.
to say something because I have feelings. I have a lot of feelings about this. Because I had to separate myself from like the feelings that I had in my childhood. I've been to a concert very early on, like the first stadium tour, and knowing what I know now, I wish people would wake up and be so for real.
Y'all hear her
Um,
right. Wake up and be so for real. Like, are
it's
you
really
kidding
just
me?
it. I think that the thing that disgusts me the most is when people have a conversation and they want to downplay what happened early on in his career, specifically involving domestic violence, and they want to brush that under the rug and say, okay, well, he's learned since then, except he hasn't. He still is violent to this day. That has not changed. And just because other people are violent also, don't mean he should get a pass.
Right.
I'm really, it's a sensitive subject for me because I had a lot of good memories. Um, that doesn't matter. That does not trump the facts.
Right. Girl, my aunt sent me a tutorial on how to do his that viral TikTok dance challenge she got going on.
Mm-hmm.
I said, girl, I wouldn't be caught dead dancing to a Chris Brown song and have you recorded. Are you kidding me? Absolutely not.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
it's so simple. And oh, someone I know recently used a song for a very important life event. And I was just like, further disappointed, like someone that I expected to know better and have scruples. But this is me. I'm judging, okay? This is me telling you that I will judge and I will continue to judge. But there are so many songs that have been created since the beginning of time that little dance could go to. You don't have to do it to that person's music, okay? If you just
Okay.
have to do some choreo. Ugh.
Well,
Like, I mean, y'all can do the cha-cha slide. Like, it's really not that deep.
well, when people told me that they weren't gonna stop listening to R. Kelly, I mean, and we have a 34 convicted felon in the office, I stopped arguing with folks because you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, you're right.
Yes, indeed. And if R. Kelly wasn't in jail, they'd be going to his concert today too.
Okay,
yes, they
stepping in the
would.
name of love, honey.
Mm-hmm. Packing it.
And I mean, it hurt me to lose R. Kelly too, but because that was uh, he hit every, I grew up with him in music, and I had to let it go. Me and my homegirl, we wore out Chocolate Factory. Please.
Girl, Chocolate Factory, honey. And then, do you remember JS, the girls who sing "Taste My Ice Cream"?
Hmm.
Cause he had R. Kelly had a huge hand in production in that album, baby. When I tell you, I played that album out so bad that I played it to the point where it couldn't play, the CD wouldn't play anymore, so I had to go and buy the album again. That's how much I played it. So yeah,
Okay.
trust me, I get the music was good. It gave me feelings, honey. But after learning the information, just like Ashley, you
Oh
have to
yeah.
make a choice. You have to wake up, and
Hmm.
you either stand for something or you fall for anything.
It's still hard for me. Like if the Leah song comes on, the older Leah, and he had a hand in all of that, and that album was You
I
know,
love
my
some
little
music.
young teen growing up, I still cringe when I hear his production in the back or his voice and stuff.
I love me
Mhm.
some music, but ain't no way that my
Yeah.
spirit will let me enjoy songs by someone that I know this kind of thing about. I don't care how much I love music. It's
Hmm.
no, my spirit is bigger.
That's
But
right.
yeah, you know, but I've seen people like, there was a whole, I mean, arguments online. People like, why would I stop listening to R. Kelly? And I was like, well, I just knew we cooked from there.
And I'm throwing Diddy in that camp too. No
Hello.
more, no more, no more. Not that I was a big fan of his music, but I did have a few tracks. But yeah, nope.
Hang on. Go ahead, Ashley.
One of the things that came up when Shirley was talking about what happens in the medical industry is that uh, you will be gaslit. And this is one of those situations where people are doing that every single day, constantly, regardless of who uh, what you know is right. There are so many sources trying to convince you otherwise and give you reasons why you will be alienated or ostracized for not towing the line and following along with the program.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it ties to how many people do not understand that having empathy and trying to understand or put yourself in somebody else's shoes doesn't just happen because you have to like work at that if it's not something that comes easily to you, and you have to care about people other than yourself. So there are tons and tons of people that don't understand having sympathy or empathy for somebody until they've been through something, and then they want that kind of support but can't look at other areas of their life where they aren't making a choice or they aren't being conscious of their actions or how what they do or what they say or what they believe is going to affect them or other people in the present and the future.
Damn right. You better preach. And we have a comment saying, yeah, after finding out when I did about Kelly, I completely turned away from his music, knowing what he really meant by it. Exactly. He was singing love songs to 12-year-olds. Like, come on now.
I just get the willies every time I hear it. Like, I was like, oh my God, I can't even listen to the music the same.
But right in front of their parents. I mean, his influence was so, I don't know what to call it, where he was pulling these girls up on stage, and a lot of these kids were at the show with their parents or their mothers or their father. I I don't understand. And for them to let him take
Because
them and supposedly make them, R&B stars and all of this. And the rumors
people
about him had been out for a
for
long time when this was happening.
decades,
Yes, and it was still happening. Like, I guess the desire to be famous, or to be on
people live
stage and
it.
be somebody, it just
Mhm.
overshadows your gut. Like,
I
what
mean,
is that?
you got people selling their kids for a piece of crack or some that.
Yeah. There's
So
actually a documentary. I forget which platform it's on, where this one parent was pushing her kid to be an influencer. That little girl didn't even go to school. She
there
was
are people
had her
nuts.
making videos and bringing her friends in, and then they all wound up living in the same house. She would bring them to make videos. They was working 16 hours a day, and their parents were on board at first, and it was amazing what these kids would go through. But she didn't even go to school. I'm like, what?
Nuts. These people are
And
nuts.
then they started doing, like, I guess, classes at home or stuff. But in the beginning, she wasn't even going to school. She was making videos and bringing in lots of money.
Wow.
But
Did she get
still,
taken from her mom?
no, she didn't.
Hmm.
I think it was on Netflix. I've got to look it up. I'm going to put it in the channel
But
and,
that
and
ain't
let
the
y'all know.
first time. That ain't, I mean,
No, it's not.
we've got
But
We've
Ugh,
got some of the best R&B band group. Jackson Five. They went to school,
yeah.
but they didn't.
Right,
But then
right.
there's some people who take it to the next, another level past that.
Yeah,
It's
it
sick.
was extreme.
People
It
sick.
was extreme. Some of it was she. I don't want to give it away because I mean, even the mother was doing things inappropriate with some of those kids, and it was
Oh God. Yes.
Oh my Lord.
it wasn't outright abuse, but it was very questionable, inappropriate things to be saying and doing with children. It was it. I my mouth was open during most of it. I'm like, what
Mm.
is this? But I realized she's not the only one. I mean, when your kid is out there on YouTube and everything is about followers and the algorithm and getting these sponsorships and you start bringing in thousands of dollars a month and that greed for money just it
Mm-mm.
just pumps them up into something that's just so terrible. Mm-mm.
Big facts. Big facts.
Well, speaking of other terrible things, honey. So now
What?
y'all so now I know y'all because y'all into that sports ball stuff. Now I do know the name of like Wilt Chamberlain. Like I know that because I know he's like a pop culture icon, and I understand he was very good at what he did.
Right?
Are y'all familiar with Spencer Haywood as well?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
not.
Spencer Haywood, you're about to be familiar with him in a minute because he is telling his story, and he was on the All the Smoke podcast. He told a story how Wilt Chamberlain is responsible for getting his ass knocked out.
Huh?
Yes, honey. So he essentially put a hit out on him, but
Oh.
not a shooting hit, but he wanted him to get his ass beat. And Spencer Haywood explains that, and he explains why. So give me one moment. All the Smoke podcast put a clip on their Twitter page. So let me share my screen. Give me 1 second. It should be coming up soon. Oh,
Played against. The most intimidating player that you played against.
The Dipper,
Big
Wilt
Dipper.
Chamberlain.
Yep.
Mhm.
Big Dipper.
Incredible,
I'll
huh?
tell you one little story about when they was winning the 62, 72 games in a row. I was out there having a ball. I was doing like I had 40 and it was like 15 before the
mm-hmm.
fourth quarter was ended. He sick Bill Bridges on me. He said, knock him out. Bill Bridges was this big old dude, about 6'8", 275 pounds.
Mm.
Like I see, it's like a cartoon, big old
He
fist
just
coming.
swung at you?
He knocked me out.
Oh shit!
Oh no.
Cause we ain't messing up
So
this.
you was on your way to dropping 50 and beating the winning streak, and they
Yeah,
took you out.
took me out.
Yeah.
So
That would have been his last game
your
too.
boy from LA, Walt Hazard, I'll save you. He jumps over Bill Bridges' back. The floor had these 24-second clocks on the floor at that time. And it's a big old piece of iron knocked him out. So we both woke up in the training room. And the next year, the league said they're putting the clock up on.
On top. That's crazy.
So these players keep running into it.
Oh my
Well,
God.
did y'all hear him tell the story about how the clock is now above now, and that's the reason why?
Will say you ain't about to break my record, boy.
Got his ass out of here.
The
Oh,
league finally
basketball was
had
so
its last
treacherous. It was so
last
treacherous
straw
back then. Oh,
with the rumble in the
Was
palace.
he?
Oh yeah, it was terrible.
Wow.
But you
Well,
know, basketball ain't the same no more. That last little melee that they had, they rooted out all the fighting in the NBA. It ain't even close to how it used to be.
did they?
Well, they don't be fighting. I mean, you got that one with
Well, it's not as bad as it used to be, but they still be kind of knocking each other around.
well, who
They
was
used
the
to
dude
outright
that played
fight
with?
back in the day, though.
Yeah, yeah. You remember
Draymond.
that? Yeah, Draymond. Thank you. I couldn't think of his name to save my life. Draymond is the only one that I know really kind of being a bully out there. But shoot, back in the day,
Oh yeah, they used to have fist
they was
fight.
doing elbows and. Hard
Hmm.
elbows. Yeah, when the NBA
Everybody
players
was a
start to
Draymond.
fail. Yeah, that part.
Up to
That
the point
part.
where Ron Artest had to change his whole name. He was like, you know what? I've been fighting too much. Just call me World Meta Peace.
Well, well, that was because when you start fighting the fans too, it was a whole brawl.
Yeah, yeah.
That was wild.
Well, and basketball has definitely changed up to the point where anybody who's someone that's in the WNBA, she's suggesting that. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I even tell this next story, Ashley, want to add something?
I did. I had a little bit of basketball news.
Oh, go ahead,
Uh,
boo.
this past weekend, my dad and his high school championship winning team um, served or I guess they accepted an award on behalf of Joe Jellybean Bryant because they all played together, and that was a part of Philadelphia's basketball history. So,
And
um,
Joe Jellybean Bryant is Kobe Bryant's dad, correct?
correct. Yes.
Ow.
So my dad is in Kobe's the last book that was written about Kobe because of his contributions to this team and the game, and they all got to celebrate together in his honor, and it was really nice that a lot of people gave my dad his flowers at the Philadelphia Black Basketball Hall of Fame um, awards. They also honored Coach McGee from Philadelphia University, who was there while I was there. So that was really nice. I didn't get to attend, but it was a really special night for him and for basketball. So, yeah.
That is what's up. Thank you for sharing. And shout out to Father Pride. Congratulations. And even though I'm not a sports fan, thank you for your contributions.
Yes, Joe Mad Dog Pride.
Ow.
Thank you.
Uh, he wouldn't be happen to be like a does Mad Dog 2020 sponsor him maybe? Because can he get a bitch like a free bottle? Girl, we'll talk
He
offline.
should. He should. We'll have to work on that. Have your people call my people, and we'll do something.
Yes.
Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm.
Oh, I'm sorry. The health professional says to stay away from that Mad Dog 2020. And no, she's absolutely right. Don't stay away from this shit. But now the next story though, so WNBA clearly are not we've seen for ourselves like the salary differences between the WNBA and the NBA. And Liz Cambridge, honey, she's pretty much recommending that you got to find something outside of basketball if you really want to make some money. So let me share this TMZ link I have here. And you should see where it says Liz Cambridge calls on WNBA players to make more money off court amid OnlyFans success. So baby, she got off that court and got onto OnlyFans. And I have she's TMZ called her in the airport and they were asking her about it's about a minute and a half long, maybe. So we'll just watch to see what she has to say about it. And I found it to be very interesting. So give me 1 second. Let's let that load.
She's
As she's
right.
standing there in a mink coat. Yeah, she's absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
This is true. The story is, and tell me if this is true, that you made more with that new OnlyFans account.
It's not new.
Than your whole WNBA career. Is that fact?
You know the WNBA salary is not that hard to make more money doing anything.
No, that's real. But like, how does that feel? Like in hindsight,
In hindsight,
because you're such a successful
I
player
feel
too.
like women gotta make more money playing the sport they love.
Do you think that like this, like your experience will like draw people into making money other ways like that?
I think everyone's just gotta get it how they can.
Well, look, I like the mean coat.
As I'm
You know,
standing,
as you're standing here in the
front
mean
of me.
coat with the diamond teeth, like obviously it was a smart move. So
Bugs Bunny, baby.
they, you gotta get the carrots, baby. No, so do you have any wisdom to WNBA players who would be like Follow your footsteps, baby.
Just be you. Stick to your personality. I feel like back in the day, there wasn't like an opportunity or a space for women to be like who they are, but now I feel like women being more girly or like owning their sexuality more, and it's fun. And even like the stud buds, like seeing those girls pop off. Like I love tea so much. Like that's going global. Like
Yeah,
I'm in sitting with Diplo Wesley
yeah.
in Ibiza in London, which we're laughing about it. So he loves them. But it's just dope to see like it getting more popular and
Yeah.
crossing. Like Wesley doesn't know any other girls to name in the WNBA, and he's talking to me about Courtney and T. Like, no, that's really cool.
She's so cute. I thought she was
Yes,
adorable.
I love their little accent. It is cute. They have
Hmm.
the bodies. I mean, uh, look, she said, get it any way you can, and their salaries are horrible.
Hmm.
The
You see
only
how
the
she
big
and she
players
shaded him. She.
get the endorsements, like Angel Reese, with the sneakers and the Caitlin Clarks,
Hmm.
but the rest of the players, they're having to settle for what, like 200 something a year, if that.
Yep.
That's crazy. When the men's salaries are 100 times more, not 10 times.
Millions of
I,
dollars.
right? I don't understand that. Even their
And they
bench.
have the numbers and the community and all of the other things to go along with it. It's not
Yeah.
like, asking for money is ridiculous or outrageous. They are performing, they're outperforming. And
Hmm.
yeah, something's got to give. I just don't
Yeah.
like that the emphasis isn't on changing their salary,
Hmm.
Right.
because no one would anything differently of the MNBA.
I think
Okay.
it changed a lot though with and I hate to give Caitlin Clark, this kind of kudos, but they they're filling stadiums now. The games are drawing more attention because back in the day, the NBA, while people were watching, I think it's enjoying a lot more popularity now. So maybe, just maybe, they'll start to increase the salaries because even the biggest players don't make over 200 and something a year. I mean, it's not like the NBA where you have the star players and then you have the bench players and the salaries are different. No, they're making paltry salaries too. So maybe now we'll see a change. I don't know. I hope so. They couldn't even
I
fly
do
private.
too.
I mean, they flying commercial, whereas other teams flying, private, and just the accommodations are different. It's just crazy.
Got them girls staying at the Red Roof Inn.
Hmm.
It's crazy. I just wanted to say I'm not anti anything that lady said. I'm just saying
Yeah.
they're really playing in
No,
their
I,
face.
I actually
I am
understand where you
I'm pro the girls getting their bag any way that they can and should.
Yep.
The diversifying is what I'm trying to say. Diversifying is the way to go no matter what. Each one of them is their own brand, so they should be able to do whatever it is that they need to do to get their
Hmm.
money up. I'm fully in support of that, but I do not think that the onus should be taken off of the league. I
Yeah.
think
They
that's
shouldn't have.
incredibly disrespectful.
They
Incredibly
shouldn't have.
disrespectful.
Shouldn't have to do that to survive. They should just
No,
do it because they want to, not because they have to.
yep. And no, Ashley, I didn't like when you said it, I didn't get that energy that you were against it at all because I understood clearly what you said. And yes, the onus does need to be because and I think that's been a really long fight because there have been girls like speaking up trying to get like, all right, now I got bills to pay. Like, what we doing? But y'all
Right.
want me to travel here, there, and everywhere, but I can barely afford it. And you got me flying Spirit and staying at a Howard Johnson. What is
Right.
Howard Johnson still around? Did I just show my age? But
I think they still might have two or three.
okay.
But you're right though. I mean, what kind of home can you buy? Even a person making 200 grand is with the housing prices today. I mean, you're not really buying no big old house or nothing like that. If you got bills, you got families to try to help and support, and all of that. I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm hoping. that the salary does increase for them. It has to. They're getting too much attention. You know,
I mean, the best I can do is like when one of them games is on, I'll just have it on the TV playing. But y'all know I'm not watching this shit. But I guess for them to get the numbers, I'll
yeah,
put it on the TV.
they're
Ugh.
reporting. You don't have to watch.
I don't even want that shit looking at me on the TV, huh? That ball bouncing around and people running around in shirts and stuff. They fighting over. I don't want to see all that. I don't like sports.
They don't be looking at you though. Okay, they're not looking at you.
Okay. But yeah, I think that's what I think we and I'm kind of being like a. It sounds like I'm being facetious, but I'm a little serious. I think just for the sake of for these women to get their equal pay, we might have to do something like that. Even if you don't plan on watching, like still put it on and stream it, like so they can get those numbers. Well, never mind because Ashley made a point that the numbers are there and they have the support and they still getting played with. So hell, I don't know, child. I don't know. What I do know, our next story, the baby. Anytime the baby has an opportunity to embarrass himself, he's gonna take it.
Uh,
So remember the last time we talked about his ass, he did that very inappropriate music video about that girl who was stabbed to death on that Charlotte on Charlotte public transportation.
yes.
Well, child, because of that, y'all see I just shared this all hip hop link. The baby meets with Mecklenburg sheriff after controversial subway stabbing video. And to meet for what? For what? Anyway, the baby met with Mecklenburg County Sheriff Gary McFadden earlier this month in Charlotte, following public backlash over his unauthorized music video that dramatized the fatal stabbing of a Ukrainian refugee on a local train. The rapper's Save Me video, which reenacts the killing of 23-year-old Irina Zaruska on a Charlotte area transit system called CATS Light Rail, sparked criticism for its depiction of a real life tragedy. In the video, the baby plays a heroic role, intervening to prevent the attack that, in reality, ended in Zaruska's death. The Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office shared images of the meeting on social media over the weekend, showing the baby and McFadden posing with peace signs, looking a fool. The caption noted they discussed important issues and potential collaborations and encouraged followers to stay tuned for what's in the works. I will not. Both of y'all can go to hell, the quiet as it's kept. But anyway, the meeting came weeks after the video was filmed without permission aboard a catch train, according to WSOC TV. Cat Security was alerted via the Cat's Pass app and quickly removed the production crew from the train. The Save Me video opens with actual news footage of the stabbing and ends with a link to a GoFundMe page for Zaruska's family, which had raised more than $470,000 by early October. The dramatized narrative sparked debate over whether the tribute crossed the line. While the baby said the video was meant to honor Zaruska, the unauthorized shoot and fictionalized portrayal of the incident drew criticism from Charlotte residents and transit officials. The sheriff's office did not disclose specific details about the meeting's agenda or what future collaborations might look like. And I could just share my screen real quick so y'all can see that picture of them looking a fool. Hold on. Yeah, looking a fool, honey. It's two dumb asses telling each other exactly for their fucking asses. Let me get this shit off this damn screen. I won't see it no more. So, and we have a comment. They're using her as a martyr to rail against Democratic You better wake it. You see it. You see it, right? You see it, and that, honey, and they are really successful at it. And what they wanted to do was get the most blackest looking. Because if you ask me, honey, I still think, and I really hate that that girl lost her life because that was a tragic event. But I think the guy who did it was a paid actor or something, a paid agitator. So I think he was paid to do that. And nobody can convince me otherwise. And then it's just the optics of what it looks like. You
He
have
was
this.
mentally ill, Auntie. He was
Oh yeah,
apparently
well we heard
schizophrenic,
who's. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and they
that's what
knew
they're
so.
saying. They're
They
saying
knew.
he's mentally ill, but I just find it real odd that because just look at the optics. You have this really skinny white girl from the Ukraine, blonde, and then you have this big, uh, really masculine black man with dreads and facial hair. You know what I mean? It just and now they're trying to use it to pass Arena's law in North Carolina. So, mm, they say the guy was someone that needed help. He had schizophrenia, and our system failed him. Look, I think that's what's just being told to us. I mean, yeah, I'm a conspiracy theorist, and I'm sorry, but yeah, and I just it's really tragic. But yeah, I don't. I still think that man was a paid agent. Well, Moon Girl. Now, did you, out of curiosity, did you hear anything about Ice Cube's bus getting catching on fire downtown Portland? Oh, and Missy
Is
says
that
hello,
part
y'all.
of the need for the National Guard to go down
No.
into
No,
there? Or is that separate?
yeah, that's
Okay.
separate. That's actually something that happened in like wait, when did this happen? I think back in July. Well, it turns out they investigated it, and it was just a random attack. It had nothing to really even do with Ice Cube. So give me one moment. I'm going to share this link here. Look, I don't think Missy likes Ice Cube. Look, girl, I feel you. I don't like his ass either.
Same, Missy. Same.
Okay, she said, "Fuck that nigga." Well, y'all should see this all hip hop article. Ice Cube tour bus fire bombing investigation results are in. So I'm going to share my screen, and there's just a quick little news update from Fox 12 out there that talks about it. So give me 1 second.
Update tonight on that tour bus fire involving rapper Ice Cube in downtown Portland. Investigators now say that the incident appears to have been a random act of vandalism and not a targeted attack. They're also not convinced that it was firebombed, noting there's no evidence of an incendiary device that was used. This comes after a tour bus connected to Ice Cube caught fire just hours after his performance at the Moda Center on September 23rd. Fire crews responded to Southwest Oak and Broadway, where they found a tire on fire. They were able to quickly put out that fire. No one was hurt.
Huh, good to hear no one was hurt. And we the comment that didn't make any sense since that happened. Exactly, 'cause none of it's making sense. They you didn't find any like what she say like not accelerant. I don't think accelerant was the word that she used, but they didn't find any way to see how that fire would have even started, and it was just a random act of vandalism. Mm-mm. Somebody lying. Somebody lying. Oh, it's not a targeted attack. Wink, wink. So, wink, wink. Well, I got 2 more stories left, honey. So this next one, baby, did y'all hear about Mark Sanchez over the weekend?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
a hell of a weekend, didn't he? With
He,
his crazy ass.
oh my God.
Girl, so I have this TMZ article, and you all should see where it says, "Mark Sanchez, alleged victim, is okay after stabbing incident," his family says.
He was the victim, really?
No, no, they're saying, they're talking about his Mark's alleged victim.
Oh,
He's the one
oh,
that's okay.
oh, thank you. Okay,
'Cause
thank
Mark is the aggressor. Mhm.
you. Definitely.
So the alleged victim in Mark Sanchez's stabbing incident is doing okay after the violent altercation, according to the truck driver's family, who provided a brief update on Sunday. The family of the alleged victim, who sustained a deep laceration to his face, spoke with the New York Post after photos of the 69-year-old's gruesome injuries shocked the internet. He's okay, the family said. We are talking to lawyers first. We want to be careful what's said. We appreciate that. TMZ Sports broke the news on Saturday. Sanchez, a Fox Sports commentator, was hospitalized after being stabbed near Senate Avenue and West Washington Street in downtown Indiana, around 12:30. I'm sorry, downtown Indianapolis, around 12:30 a.m. on Saturday. In a crazy twist of events, Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department arrested Sanchez late Saturday afternoon, alleging he was actually the aggressor despite being seriously wounded. Sanchez, originally in town to call the Colts versus Raider game at the Lucas Oil Stadium, was charged with 3 misdemeanors: battery with injury, unlawful entry of a motor vehicle, and public intoxication. Officials are holding a news conference today at 8 a.m. Pacific time where they'll provide an update of the situation. So I'm guessing they've already done that by the time the show started. So this article doesn't have any updates. So I guess we'll find out what they say. I don't know how the hell they're gonna try to spin this. Like it's really not much you can say, sir. And then we hear that there were rumblings of who was it? Was it Fox Sports? They were talking about potentially firing him, allegedly. So I don't know. He having a hell of a weekend, honey. Or had a hell of a weekend. Well, that's that on that, honey. And this last story, y'all, we gonna end it on this hilarious story. Do not play with JoJo Siwa, because she will kick your ass out of her concert for playing with her. And that's what happened. And now a fan is on TikTok trying to tell her story. Telling, oh no, we didn't mean any malicious intent by it. Okay, girl. So I have this article here from the Daily Mail. Let me share it here. And you all should see where it says JoJo Siwa fan addresses being thrown out of her concert over the hoodie. So a woman who was thrown out of JoJo Siwa's concert last week for her hoodie has insisted she had no idea it was offensive. The Dance Mom star, who is 22, who was in Glasgow performing her Infinity Heart tour to the UK, paused the concert after spotting one fan wearing a hoodie with her face on the front in the shape of an egg. In 2022, JoJo revealed how she had been left with a bald spot that caused by stress filming reality show Dance Moms as a child, with people on social media making cruel memes about her hairline. Speaking on stage, she said, "The hoodie making fun of me? No way. I appreciate it, but we only got room for Infinity Hearts in here, right? Not in my house, baby. We got no room for that. We got no room for that." Now, Anjali, one of the people kicked out of the gig over the hoodie, has opened up in a video on her TikTok page, issuing an apology to JoJo for causing offense. Let me go down to these big ass pictures they got in this article. Good Lord. Okay. She said that because she and her friend didn't have any merch to wear to the gig, they came up with the idea of printing out a picture from the internet and sticking it onto their clothes. The fan said she Googled funny JoJo Siwa picture and printed off the first one they found, thinking it'll be funny and JoJo has a good sense of humor, and so she'll laugh as well. The picture in question was an egg with JoJo's face on it, an image that had been made years ago to poke fun at the shape of her head and her high hairline. And despite the fact that it was initially shared by someone mocking JoJo, the singer herself did also post it on her Instagram page, apparently finding it amusing at the time. And Jolly explained that she and her friend had been in the concert for around 45 minutes when JoJo asked what was everyone wearing, and they seized the opportunity to show their outfits and make her laugh. She said, "We were like, oh my goodness, she's gonna laugh and find it really funny." And she didn't find it funny. She kicked us out. And Jolly admitted she felt that she was about to have a panic attack when she was thrown out of the concert, as it was the first time it's ever happened. I've been to other concerts I've been to other concerts and shows and they find stuff like that really funny, she said. Like it's a common thing for people to bring a funny picture. So and wait till I show y'all this hoodie. But she said, but when they try to talk to staff at the concert venue about the mix-up, and Jolly claimed that they were ignoring us, adding it wasn't very fun. In the caption, the fan pinned, "We didn't have any merch, so we decided to just print the first picture we saw and stick it on our clothes. We didn't look at the backstory behind it or know it would be a trigger for her. Else we absolutely would have not done that. None of it was with malicious intent. JoJo, I'm so sorry." Several TikTok users quickly took to the comments to share their opinions, writing, "JoJo literally posted that picture before. How would they know that it wasn't okay? I'm still baffled that she kicked you out. Like she's posted that before too. I swear she's posted the egg photo before as well, though." JoJo was completely wrong for that, for what she did. It was a joke. They weren't out to get her. JoJo Siwa has an ego that needs to be checked. However, others were on JoJo's side. I understand where you're coming from now in an explanation, but honestly, she's been through so much bullying. Her reaction was entirely fair and valid. It comes after JoJo insisted that she is not straight, following questions surrounding her sexuality, as she stated that her current relationship with boyfriend Chris Hughes does not negate her previous romances with women. The singer previously came out as pansexual and had a number of public same sex romances before falling in love with Love Island star Chris, who's 32, while in the Celebrity Big Brother house in April, and now identifies as queer. While the loved up couple's relationship has since gone from strength to strength, JoJo admitted that she has experienced an extreme amount of hate from the LGBTQ plus community for entering a hetero romance. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there because now this little girl playing in my face. Great. So anyway, but before I stop, let me show y'all this hoodie. Y'all gonna laugh. Let me share my screen. Oh, we have a comment saying them teeth. You a mess. Child, look at that damn hoodie. You see the text. First of all, they ain't even try to make the shit look good. Look at that damn hoodie.
I don't think that's worth throwing them out though. Come on, JoJo. Come on.
Look, she is extra sensitive right now, honey. So she said tread lightly.
Yes, so.
but but yeah, I'm with you, especially if you posted the picture before. But I
Yeah.
guess it's kind of like saying I can joke about myself and maybe you can. I don't know.
No.
Maybe she was just having a bad day.
She probably was having a bad day.
I'm gonna need my money back though.
Yeah.
Hello.
That part.
Go ahead, Ashley Boo.
Okay, so there are some celebrities that you just know not to play with. And I don't know that JoJo's one of them. This doesn't even make me feel that way, but but she has every right to, respond in the way that she did. And, everybody handles fame and celebrity and criticism or, you know, people making jokes at their expense in their own way. And, you know, it is what it is, what it is, what it is. What you came to her place. That was her house.
Well,
That was her house.
I think the girl is still trying to figure out who she is, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and honestly, trying to do that in the limelight is very tricky because she came out in at a very young age, and I'm sure that all that was genuine feelings and how she felt. But then as she's gotten older, she's able to evolve. But our society loves to put people in a box. We love to box people in, and so I know she has heightened sensitivity because I mean, in the last year, she's done a lot of different changing, and people have had a lot to say about that. So I mean, her show, those are the rules. I mean, I bet you that when you try Beyonce like that though.
But my thing is though, right? Cool, you feel some type of way. Just give me back my money because I guarantee you those are not on the rules that are explicitly put on the ticket for attending.
Right.
So I'm gonna just need my
Oh
money
yeah.
back. You can feel however you want to feel, ma'am, but run me back my coins. Because you stopped the whole. Did she stop the concert? How did this work? Like, I would like
Yes.
to know. You stopped the concert to throw these people out. So you were that triggered with the however many other fans. Because I was about to say thousands, but I don't know her, so I don't know how many. I don't know how many people was there. But ma'am, it's cool. You stopped. You made me the center of attention at your concert over a hoodie. Ma'am, run me back my money. No problem. You don't want me
Oh
as a
yeah.
fan, no problem. But let me get my coins. Thank you. Good day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure she did. You know what I smell? I smell a lawsuit coming because either her, the girl that was in the TikTok, or the other girl that was kicked out. They're gonna say that JoJo caused them emotional distress. Oh, but then again, though, this
Yeah.
didn't happen in the States, so maybe this there everybody else is not as litigious as we are here in America. So
Oh, we like to see around these.
we like to sue, honey. Yes, indeed. But my whole thing, my problem with JoJo saying that she felt that she got a lot of backlash from the LGBTQ plus community is bullshit, and she knows it's bullshit, and you're not gonna sit here and keep playing in our face like that. And what we were
Well,
telling you was that, girl, what you're doing, honey, is not a good look, because what you're doing is making people think that sexuality is a choice.
right. But she is a white woman. So
Mm,
you know what they gonna do.
so,
But I think being out in the limelight, like being a dance kid with a dance mom, being all, I feel like she always felt like she had to prove something, and was just so audacious and stuff. And I think people just continue to play on that behavior. But also, you doing all this in front of people, and like you said, it gives the impression that to some people, like, oh, it's a choice. But also, these people have evolutions. Uh, Even celebrities, you know what I mean? People in the limelight, they evolve, they change, or whatever, or they discover new parts of themselves. And that's a societal problem, I think, in general, because we always want to box people into certain ways. But yes, it could be damaging to a community that has been trying to prove a point too. So two things can be true at the same time.
girl, I've been in this life a long time. I know. I was about to use a really offensive word. That starts with BD. I know one when I see one, honey. That girl is not into men at all, and she's playing in people's faces.
Well, she's an actor.
Well, is she really an
She
actress?
is. Oh,
Is
she
she
is.
good? Is she good
I
though?
didn't say that. I didn't say that. That's not what I said. I said she is employed by them people over at the place with the big checks. That's what I said.
You know what? And maybe I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. I don't know, but honestly, she's gonna be a white woman at the end of the day. So she's gonna do what white women do.
Because how I see her is how I see Alicia Keys. And y'all remember I have said it on this show, honey. I don't think Alicia Keys is into men at all, and their marriage to Swiss Beats is a not a sham, but it's just an arrangement, and they are happy with their arrangement.
A beard? Is it
And
beard?
you
Wig?
said
What
you said
Somebody.
Coco as
he
well.
he's her wig. You said who?
Wig.
You said Coco as well.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, girl, yes.
And Tiana Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
You got a
And
whole
Rihanna.
list. Now, oh yeah, that too. You see, you got a list.
Mm-hmm. Because I know it when I see it. So, well, y'all, that was all the tea that I had for us today. So before we head out, and I have to apologize, y'all, because tomorrow I do have some errands to run because I'm just auntie. I'm so busy. Like, oh my god, I'm so
Oh
busy.
my God.
But
The
so we
nerve of
will.
you.
I'm sorry, but we won't be able to have a show tomorrow. But we will be back on Wednesday at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time if you can make the live show.
Tuesday is the day I'm at home where I can really speak freely.
Uh, I'm sorry, boo. Yes,
I have to give you trouble.
we got to take care of some important errands tomorrow, honey. And I mean
Okay.
important.
Okay. Well, if you say they are, I believe you.
Well, did anybody want to add any other tea? Any tea that I may have missed?
Mm-mm.
Uh,
Did you cover the Cardi and the Nicki? Did you glaze over that real quick?
Mm-mm.
did anything else happen other than
Ah, didn't something happen over the weekend? Oh, other people interjecting, and I don't know. Nikki's starting to look. She's not getting the support. I don't know. I just
uh,
that kept popping up.
Jesus? Don't even joke like that in my comments, honey. Don't even play them
Wait,
games.
hold on. Let me see what.
Talk about some beyond the gates has been canceled. You done lost your damn mind.
Oh, that is. Did Will send you to do that?
Don't you play like that with my show. But I know, and I could. He told me that the show helps him get through his work days. So I'm so sorry I can't do one for you tomorrow, baby. But yes, we got to go do our
Oh,
civic
that
duty
was
tomorrow.
Beezus lashing out. Okay, I feel you, Beezus. I feel you.
Yes. Well, thank you all for taking time out of your busy day, and thank you again to Shirley for coming on to share her story. Thank you
Yes.
all for being so welcoming to her. And you all have a fabulous rest of your day.
Yes, and you have Shirley come back again. Yeah.
Yes. You heard
Bye,
that, Shirley.
Shirley.